Hey, and aloha. Looks like everything's working. Awesome. So let me jump over to the comments. I am going live today in multiple places for ever since the lockdowns happened. I've been going live in my unconditional happiness group on Facebook every day for months. This is a little rare, a little different. I haven't done this for a while where I'm going live everywhere at one time. So I'm in multiple places on Facebook. I am also live on YouTube, and it is going to take a little while for everybody to join us. So I am going to say hey to everybody as you come on. If you want to say hey, howdy, aloha, whatever works for you, as well as typing in what part of the world you are in, I'll greet you. We'll connect and get ready to have some fun here. I'm going to be talking about relationships today. There we go. Primarily intimate relationships. And I'm going to be sharing some myths, some misunderstandings, and how to literally have the most amazing, loving, passionate, enthusiastic, open, transparent, authentic, and real, genuine relationships possible. Now, almost everybody talking about this, especially spiritual folks, they focus on this idea of connection, deep connection, deep connection. We're going to go past connection today. I'm going to be talking about something that goes beyond connection, which is oneness. Right? It's kind of interesting to me to see how many spiritual people, spiritually inclined folks who talk about oneness, still talking about connection. I mean, which is it? But we'll talk about that more in a moment. So Erica, Liliana, Heidi, Candy Rosemary, Susie Simona, Dave, Deborah, Stephanie Dejolie, Dana. Hey, Mike. Tracy and Carrie and Jennifer and Connie. Hey, I knew you'd be on. Hey, Christy. Check it out. I got a couple friends on here who are tagging lots of people, which is awesome. I was going to ask you to do that. Thank you for doing it. All right, so we're a couple minutes in and we got over 50 people so far. Hey, Crystal, love you, girl. Hey, Lean in Belgium. Hey, Tara. What's up, Lynn? Oh my God, where you been? Hey, girl. Kimberly, Dale, this is awesome. All right, I got some old friends, but I don't mean you're old. You're just old as friends. Aloha over in Estonia. So is that Maret? I'm not seeing your name on that one. Nope. Whoops. Joanne popped in there at that exact second. So there we go. All right, that's probably you. So what is this all about? All right. I'm gonna be very self-serving today. Hey Rex, aloha, buddy. What's up, Phoenix? Aloha. I'm gonna be very, very self-serving today, and I'm also going to be very selfless. And that is how I prefer to live my life. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be doing this. Yep, I see it is. Thank you. I am going to be giving as much value and benefit. I'm going to treat this live stream, which I'm probably going to go about 2 hours, I'm guessing. I'm going to treat this as if everybody on here had just paid me for a high-end program, and I'm going to operate it that way. Okay? Now, I'm also going to be telling you about a program that's starting next week that I have had in the back of my mind and in the front of my heart for almost 8 years now. So I'm going to tell you the story about that. You have my promise. I don't have any sales pitch for you whatsoever today. I have no, if you join it today, it's $20 less than if you buy it after midnight. It costs 10 times more. And by the way, if you don't buy it, you suck. I don't have anything like that. I don't have anything like that. What I have is I'm going to let you know. Thank you. I'm going to let you know about the program. And here's the deal. If I deliver outrageous value, and if this is a helpful, beneficial live stream, and if you get something amazing out of it, some of you will say, "Oh my God, I want to join that program." And I'll say, "Okay, if we haven't filled it up with the 222 women, this first program is for women, but this live stream is for everybody." Man, I appreciate that, Dave. Thank you, buddy. I do. And thank you for that, Christy. If anybody on here doesn't have my book, like, oh my God, get off the live stream and go get it while it's still available for free on my website. And then let's do this. Hey, Daniela. All right. So just so we're clear, right? I'm going to give an hour or two of as much value and benefit as I can give in the area of conscious, awake, loving, intimate, passionate, amazing relationships. Information that will spill and spill and spill over into every area of relationships in your life. And I'm going to refer a few times during the live stream to the program that started. Okay. So there you have it. Now, I have a bit of a story. Once upon a time, pretty good while back, there was a little boy who was born to a man who was pretty angry. He had been through a lot of pain, and he believed that life was hell. He believed, and he said more than once, life is really suffering, and basically what you want to do is find a crowd, duck in it, and hide so you're not a target for more pain. And he ended up marrying a woman who would marry such an angry man. And that would be a woman who had not felt loved as a child. She learned that she was never enough. She was never going to be good enough. She was never going to be really loved. And she better take what she could get. And so these two people got together and they got married. And then they created some pretty serious suffering for themselves and their kids. And I was their youngest. Everything else that happens on this live stream today flows from that short story that I just told. Who I became, who I decided I was, the pains that I went through as a child that led to the disastrous decades of my life, and nowhere more than in the area of intimate relationships. Okay? So let me ask a couple of quick questions here. I don't know why they always have to be quick questions. Like, are we scared of slow questions? I don't get it. If you would agree that intimate relationships are an area of potentially infinite pain and loneliness and sadness and frustration, just give me a comment that indicates something like that. If you have had the experience, if you've seen or experienced for yourself that relationships can be a source of the deepest pain and difficulty and sadness and frustration, hurt feelings, heartbreak, they call it. If you've had any experience with that, just type in, let me see. Let me get a handle on what percentage of people comment on that. Hey, George, welcome. Comments are lagging, but I'm going to wait a minute for it. That would be my life. Has been. Yes. Yeah. Hey, Deborah. Aloha. Big yeses. I'm taking that as a yes. They have been up until now, been signal for nearly 8 years. Painful. I've experienced it. Yes, yes, yes for me. All of mine. There's a reason for that. Definitely. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for that. Now, despite that or independent of that, do you feel that if you were to maybe handle one or two things, if you knew that it could work, if there was a way that you could have the deepest, most passionate, loving, you're going where I'm going there, Stephanie. I'm going to formulate this question in a way that's easy for like a group answer, if you know what I mean. If you knew that you never had to hurt again, if you knew that, how much 0 to 100, how much would you want that ultimate, close, deeply intimate, passionate, amazing relationship? If you knew you never had to hurt again, ever, how much 0 to 100, how much would you want it? Welcome, Karan. I got my first 110%. I've got 100 or a million, basically. 100, 1,000. Ah, that's one of the answers I was looking for. Hey, Jane, aloha. Candy, 100%, 100%, 100 plus. Mm. And it has to start with you. That's a beautiful sentiment there. Okay. Hmm. So, aloha, Philemon. 100%. So, what if I told you that it could be easy and simple, no matter what you've ever experienced in the past? What if it could be simple for you to find yourself able to have the most intimate, deeply connected, I'm always going to put connected in quotes, passionate, heartfelt, raw, real, enthusiastic relationship and never be hurt again? And it could actually happen quickly and easily, and you don't have to buy my shit for it to happen, okay? So, I'm getting ready to release this program, but you don't have to join my program in order for it to happen. I wanna be clear about that. Okay. What would it take? What would it take? First of all, I made a note of something I wanna make absolutely certain that I bring up on this today. I went I'll dive back into my story for a bit here. I was born to these 2 unhappy people, and I watched and I heard the fights, and I was taught that I was a stupid, ugly, worthless piece of shit. That's what my childhood taught me. Stupid, ugly, worthless piece of shit. No one's ever going to want me. And I also learned, you can be thinking about whether you relate to these things. I also learned that if someone did want me on Monday, they wouldn't want me by Friday. Not only that, they might really, really, really dig me on Monday. Like, oh my God, he's amazing. But by Friday, they would hate me. Thank you, Christy. I'm going to put that on the screen for a minute. Beautiful. Thank you, Christy. That's part of it, Dave. But there's more. There is definitely more to this. I came up out of that house having learned that I was a stupid, ugly, worthless piece of shit that no one would ever want. And if they did want me, they wouldn't want me soon. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. And I went out and I created an absolute, utter train wreck. What I'm going to do as some of these comments come in, I'm going to do my best to stay on track with my story and delivering here. I'm also going to have some of these pop up on the screen. So you just glance at them, get the feel, and see how one of the things you're going to come away with today is not just me. Like for you, it's not just me. Oh my God, there's so many people voiced exactly what I was thinking that I really did think I was the only person. Erica! All right, hang on a second, everybody. Excuse us. Come here, Erica. Oh, I love you so much. I haven't seen you for a while, girl. I'm so glad you're on. You're going to love this. So I went out into the world and I fulfilled the self-image perfectly that I acquired in childhood from my parents. Now, I have maybe a fun question that you're probably not going to like, but I'm going to ask you in all seriousness. And I'm asking you directly, you, if you hear me, I'm asking you this question. If today your biological mom and dad, or the two that you lived under, maybe one of them got replaced along the way. If right now today, if they were to put out a program called How to Have the Happiest, Deepest, Most Intimate, Passionate, Loving Relationship of Authenticity, if they were to put that course out today, would you buy it? First answer. You're going to see the vast, vast, vast majority of these. Vast majority. One or two of those rarest yeses. Okay. You wouldn't even take it if it was free. Okay. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Dave. All right. Then my next question you really won't like. Why did you buy it? Why did you buy it? Because I bought mine. I bought my parents How to Have a Relationship course. And so did you. You know what I mean? We all bought it. because it was the only example we had other than the glorious examples on the television, always glorifying same-sex parental relationships. Always. Didn't know a difference. Programming, didn't know how to choice. Didn't know any better at the time. We needed them. I thought they knew. Exactly. And we didn't realize. We totally didn't know that we were buying it. Everybody read this and feel it. It was free, wasn't it? No, hell no, it wasn't. It came with a monumental price. And ooh, yeah. Now I am my parents. Up until now. Hey, Lesia, aloha. All right. Beautiful. So what if today you could unbuy much of their training program? All right. I'm going to ask permission to go really deep because I'm about to go super, super, super deep here. If you're not a very spiritual person, if you're not inclined towards freedom, hi Vivian, aloha. If you're not inclined towards freedom, you're probably not going to like what I'm about to say, but it is foundational and fundamental to having the ultimate, true, authentic relationship. All right. I might get to deja vu right now. I'm really lasered in on a target here, though. We believe in separation. Even those of us that are pretty spiritual, we still believe in separation. We say all is one. We still believe in separation. I just feel like I got to do this. So you could bear with me, or you can really breathe and be curious, and you're going to get something amazing here. That's my promise. I see these different levels and paradigms of living as a human. And I'm 100% focused on total, complete, absolute freedom in the highest possible way. And so I'm focused on that. And I believe that's why I'm able to help people for whom nothing ever worked. I'm able to help them to become free. Now, would it make sense to you that if you're going to be free to have the ultimate, intimate, connected relationship of total authenticity, you would first have to be allowing more freedom for yourself and more accepting of yourself? Are you going to ever have more presence in your relationship than you have for yourself? Are you ever going to have more love to give than you have in yourself? Are you ever going to have more intimacy available in confidence and clarity with someone else more than you have? Of course not. And so I'm going to go deep into this spiritual concept here. I have discovered that there are 5 different paradigms that people live in. 5 different paradigms. The paradigm that you live in will dictate, oh my gosh, golly, it'll dictate your relationship, because the relationship you have will be within the global paradigm that you have. And how could it be otherwise? All right. So really do bear with me and be curious. I don't see what this has to do with relationships. If you stay with me and breathe, you will. You will. Hey, Charles. All right. So here are the 5 levels of of paradigm that you can live in this world with. The first one is meat suit. And that is basically caveman, cavewoman, cave being. And you are trying to use your back and your strength to battle and bring home enough bananas to make it. Ryan, if you will ask me that again in 10 or 15 minutes, I'll be all over it. At this level of meat suit, you see it's me against the world, and I've got to battle against this big, impossible, confusing thing in order to have enough to get through. Now, do you think that living in that mindset would have an effect on your relationships? Yeah, I mean, you're basically talking Married with Children TV show there. All right. The second level, the second paradigm is a little bit up from being a meat suit, just a chunk of meat trying to make it. It's mind or mindset, a word that to me is infinitely overused in personal development. You're a mind. You say, I'm not a dumbass meat suit. I mean, I hire those idiots and they do shit for me so that they go to battle with the physical world that's so big and scary. I'm smarter, I'm more effective, I'm more efficient, and I always am able to have enough bananas to get through the week because I put those meat suits to work. The third level is religiosity. And religiosity is where you discover that there might be a God. You find the Bible or the Quran or whatever, you find some book, some group, and they tell you there's more to life than just being a dumbass meat suit or a smartass mind. There's something more. There's this God thing. There's more. And now, rather than just battling for enough bananas, you say, well, okay, if there's a God, I got to get this thing right. I got to learn the rules of this God thing so that I have enough bananas and I can get to heaven. And who knows, maybe if I get all the rules right, I might have God's help, get me some more bananas. So you become religious and you start to live your life understanding there's more and trying to get it right, trying to get it right, trying to get it right. You know people right now who are all in any of those three. In fact, you have been all three of them at moments in your own life. So kind of think about that, if you will. And as I go through these 5 levels, if it makes sense to you, or if you have a clarifying question, use the comments for that. Okay. I am not showing that I lost sound, so that must be on your end, Charles. All right. So level 1, meat suit. Level 2, mind or mindset. Number 3, religiosity. Number 4, when people have had enough, Les just said phased out. So a couple people had glitches there. Erica, who's showing under Stephen Ham, has typed in number 1, 2, and 3 very conveniently for all of you. All right. So number 4, when you've been religious for long enough, and most of my audience, I would say virtually all of them are in level 4. So you might be level 4 if you kind of got to where that Christian thing didn't really work for you. The Buddhist thing, you started to realize, nah, there's something more than even this. You've been in one of the religions. All right. For the sake of Liliana, I'm going to back up. I am going to fly through it though, because once this, everybody else is hearing me. So if someone would type in for Charles that it's on his end, he can just refresh the page. All right. The first one is meat suit. Level 1, meat suit. I am a caveman. All right. Somebody just said it's on my end. I'm watching my microphone and everything's working. I got signal and the signal is going through. Let me see here. Yep. I'm showing perfect signal and I'm showing everything going through. So, okay. Thank you for that, everybody. At that meat suit level, everything is a struggle and a fight to try to get enough bananas to make it through. You're just struggling. It's you against the world, basically. Level 2 is mindset. You become like a supervisor type person. You think, no, 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 no. I'm not a dumbass meat suit. No, I'm way past that. I hire those dumbass meat suits to do my work so that we have enough bananas and more, but we pay them a couple of bananas to help us. 3 is religiosity, where you hear there's a God and you hear there's a religion and maybe there's a hope of heaven, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so you try to follow that. Level 4 is where virtually everyone that I know is today. And that is, I call it being spiritual. Being spiritual. And what I mean by that is, it's okay, Liliana. Maybe you may get it more on the replay, but I've fairly explained it. I also understand English isn't your first language. I deal with that a lot. You've been religious for a while. You've battled with the Christian thing. You've battled with this idea that Jesus is the only way, whatever. And then you hear about things like the law of attraction. You hear about crystals. You hear about maybe angels. You start to hear about this spirituality that's free of religion. And so let me do a quick check. If those of you that have been doing my work for a while, you don't get to answer unless you answer from right before the day you met me. Okay. This will help. Would you say that you identify right now, if you were filling out a survey and it had a list of religions, would you type in spiritual but not religious? Go. Let me see how many say yes to that. Would you say spiritual but not religious as your reply to your religious or spiritual status? Because I'm betting it's the huge majority. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. And that's literally, it's still coming in. Okay. So spiritual, but not religious. I'm getting that again and again and again. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. All right. So being spiritual is category 4. And here's what happens. This is the catch. This is why I'm in business. You know, this thing that I do, that's what I am, and I do it all the time in my daily life with everybody that I know that wants help waking up. I decided about 10 years ago to do it as my business because basically there's several 100 million people that want this, which I found somehow. I'm convinced that you made me this way so that I could show up for you. But anyway, you find out that there's something more than religion. And you say, okay, I'm going to step out of this religion. I'm going to be open to this law of attraction. I'm going to be open and curious because I get the idea that there might be something to this energy thing. There might be something to everything is energy. There might be something to all is one. There might be something to infinite possibilities. There might be something to crystals and feathers and putting my feet in the dirt. So I am now stepping out of religion and all of its rules and all of its structures, and I am stepping into being spiritual and being open. And almost everybody, the first thing they encounter is the law of attraction. Almost everybody. And they don't realize that the law of attraction is another religion. They don't understand that when you step out, what I'm about to say right now, I'm really serious about this. What I'm about to say right now, before I really dive to the next phase of the relationship thing, what I'm saying right now is enough to actually help a lot of people like their cork pops loose and they just fly up to the top and have a rather significant awakening when they get this. When you were in religion, it was formed in the image of you being a child to your parents who were authority. So you're this little thing and they are the authority and they make all the rules and you're never going to get it right. And that ends up becoming religion. When you step out of religion into spirituality, you take all of your addiction to rules, shame, guilt, failure, punishment, right with you into spirituality. Now, spirituality has none of those things. Infinite truth has none of those things, but you don't know. You stepped out of religion into spirituality as a new religion, and you had no idea you were doing it because you didn't know that you were bringing every bit of dogmatic rule following, addicted to rules, addicted to authority. Someone's still going to kick my ass. And so you find about the law of attraction. You go, oh my God, wait, you mean I might have some part to play in the outcome of what I'm getting in my life? I mean, because when I was a caveman, I heard thunder and I was just like, oh shit, I had no clue. Once I became a mindset, I heard about thunder. I heard thunder and I went, oh, well, it's just storms in the sky. When I became religious, I heard thunder and I thought, well, maybe God is trying to punish us. Now that I'm spiritual, I got no fucking idea. I got no idea. So what do I do now? To step out of religiosity. Exactly, Erica. To step out of religiosity into being religious. I'm sorry, to step out of religiosity into being spiritual without dumping out all of your baggage, you didn't actually step out. So, your being spiritual is just another religion. And in that religion, you still believe you're separate. You're being told all is one, but you have no real evidence of it. You're told all human beings, we're all actually one, but you can't really see any evidence of it unless you take mushrooms, and then that only lasts a couple hours and it's gone. You hear that there's this infinite, unlimited self, but you still wrap it up in the robes of your religious God that you haven't let go of. So, forgive me or just, understand. I'm gonna address this super quickly. Vimal, in the Unconditional Happiness group on Facebook, which is free, there is a post there that has all of my programs listed. And I appreciate your comment. The reason I interrupted myself to do this, we're actually building that page right now with all of my programs. So thank you for that. Leisure. From you, that's a high compliment. I know how much diving you have done. And I am looking out around this world. Now, don't worry, everybody. I'm about to dive all the way back into the relationship thing here. I didn't actually leave it. I'm just setting this stage so that you have a different paradigm to view this from. Virtually everyone I know is stuck and frozen in level 4. Virtually everyone I know. And virtually every guru out there, virtually all of them are endlessly writing level 4 books. There's a link to the group, Vimal, if you want to grab that. So just, you know what? Very, very, very briefly, for time's sake, if you will, tell me what anybody, just tell me, what did you just get out of that run that I just did of those 4 paradigms as I start to tell you about the 5th paradigm? Because the 5th paradigm is what I stepped into when I had the miraculous awakening that I had in 2011 after 40 plus years of living in absolute utter hell. I woke up and I have been helping thousands of people to wake up into level 5, to take the truth of the level 4 paradigm Everything is energy, all is one, everything is perfect, and I'm actually free. I'm not even creating my universe. I'm reflecting it. And that is one of the biggest things. And I'm going to use this as the first myth here. I'm not creating my reality. That's a level 4 concept that almost everybody believes. It's almost like the calling card of level 4 paradigm, being spiritual. You create your reality. And then what do you have to say? I don't know why I created that. I don't know how I created that. Why do I keep creating the same thing over and over again? I say yes and no, Jane. There's something very different. There is something fundamentally different, even if it looks similar from looking at it from level 4. Because, see, that's our catch. When we're looking at level 5 from level 4, everybody says, no, I am spiritual. I'm not religious anymore. But they don't know that they're being completely religious. Thank you, Dave. This changes everything. All right. So the level 5 paradigm is all is one. I am that. Everything is infinite, unlimited energy. If I go down into an atom of gold or lead or helium, I go down below the atomic, I get subatomic, I go into the nucleus or the electrons, and there is nothing physical there. There is no physical universe. Einstein said it, Tesla said it. There's no physical universe. There is nothing physical here. It's energy vibrating at specific frequencies. Energy ain't good or bad. Energy can't be deserving or undeserving. Energy can't be rewarded and punished or positive or negative or any of the things that all of the level 4 spiritual fucks are endlessly espousing and beating themselves and each other to death with. Someone comes to me and says, Brian, I am spiritual. All is one. Namaste. Now tell me, why is my husband such an asshole? Someone comes to me and says, I am so spiritual. But let me tell you, my ex-husband is a total narcissist. Ooh, and you think all is one and someone can be a narcissist? In this spiritual world, I mean, there's big famous gurus still teaching the empaths versus narcissists, which is actually purely level 2, perpetuating these lies. All right. So now let's go into the single number 1 myth in all relationships here. If energy isn't good or bad or right or wrong or positive or negative or deserving or undeserving, and if everything in the entire universe is made of that energy, how in the hell can you be good or bad or right or wrong or undeserving or this, Ryan, is because you can't find or attract love. Those are level 4 concepts that are actually level 2 concepts disguised as level 4 concepts, no matter how spiritual you try to make it. All right. So The biggest myth in intimate relationships. Are you ready? The biggest myth is that there's someone out there at all. The biggest myth is that there's anyone out there for you to have a relationship with. There's only one here. So then, yeah, but Brian, look at all those people out there. They're not out there, and they're not people. All that's here is mirrors made of light, and there's one light. Okay, Brian, you just fucked up everything that has to do with relationships completely. I'm totally lost, right? No, doesn't have to stay, but you were lost forever. As long as you believe there was someone out there that you could have a relationship with, you're completely screwed. You actually believe that there's love out there that you can get. So stop, Vivian. You just stop struggling right now and just breathe and relax and let it in. It's already there. If you're struggling to keep yourself from getting it. And that's what basically everybody's doing. All right. But Brian, now come on now. You got to bring this down to earth because I want to have a relationship with somebody. So what if the universe is one infinite, unlimited, eternal being, one, projecting out of eternity where there's no time and space and no motion, projecting into this illusion of time and space where there seems to be separation. Now, if you slow down and breathe deeper, you'll start to get what I'm saying. You'll start to hear what I'm saying. This one infinite, unlimited being of energy, if you go down into an atom of gold, if you go down into an atom of lead, and you go down into an atom of helium, and then if you do that on Earth, while you're also doing it on Sirius, let's say Sirius B, two scientists going down into an atom of gold, an atom of lead, an atom of helium at the same time. Once they get down below the subatomic, below that, they meet. Because there's only one here. All right, now I'm close to answering Ryan's question here. Does a certain person help to unlock our true potential? Sort of, but there's nobody else here, Ryan. It's the illusion of another person who's going to reflect every single relationship you are in right now is a relationship with cells of your body reflecting to you what is there. In a way, every person who shows up helps unlock our true potential because they're mirrors of light reflecting back to us. Now, I understand. Let me ask you, if this is too deep, you can just be honest. Don't be shy. If this is too deep, you can say it's too deep. I don't mind, okay? Because I can simplify this and it'll actually, thank you, Erica. It'll help regardless. Even if this is too deep, as long as you're breathing deeply and you're curious, it's going to help anyway. But anybody who thinks this is too deep, you can just say it and then breathe deeper, okay? There's one infinite, unlimited being. And that infinite, unlimited being is love and joy and peace. That's what it is. It's being love and joy and peace beyond our wildest dreams. And this being seemingly shows up as separate things. But now here's a question for you. If everything is light, if you go down into helium and hydrogen and gold and lead, if you go into each one of those things and you just find light blinking in and out of existence, that means that the universe is one endless light blinking in and out of existence. One light. Well, then what's all this physical shit? That certainly seems physical, doesn't it? Oh, this stuff seems very physical. What is it? It's light condensed into seeming physicality. But I don't know if you ever noticed this or not, but did you notice that you think you're seeing this? Did you notice that you think you're seeing this? That's because these are mirrors of light that reflect light. Now, check this out. Don't ask that question ever again, because you're asking, why do you resist? And you're going to get answers about why you resist, and you're going to keep resisting. You know, Leisha, I think that Rumi missed it. Everybody loves this quote by Rumi, and for years and years and years, I loved it. And I actually still do. I'm just kind of teasing, but not. If I were Rumi, here's what I would have written. Out beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there's a field. There you and I are. We done met, and we're already done. Your reflection to all that ever encounter you. Okay, now I could go down this road and take hours and hours and hours, and at some point I will. But for now, I'm going to stay on target because I want to bring this down to earth where it can be beneficial. So if there's only one infinite unlimited being here, then we might be here to meet ourselves and relearn that there's only one here. Now, within the world of religiosity and being spiritual, in that doorway, most people encounter the law of attraction, and we believe we're attracting things. But you have to actually believe there's something other than one. You have to believe there's more than one in order to believe in the law of attraction. Do you see this? Do you see this? Because I'm challenging you. I'm also just inviting you. Anybody who wants to be free, anybody who wants to step into infinite loving relationship with no barriers. The definition of intimacy. If there's only one being here, then there's only one love here. And if there's only one love here, I'm it. I just learned otherwise. And the programming was so deep. Once they sat me down in that little cubicle and they told me that I only had 5 senses, and I turned off all my other infinite senses, and I bought it, and they put a gold star on my fucking worthless paper. And mommy and daddy said I was a good boy. And then I come up and I learn the law of attraction, and the law of attraction says, hey, why are you attracting that? And you go, oh, I'm attracting. So you believe from that point that you're attracting partners into your life and that you're attracting the wrong ones. And why do I keep attracting that? And why? I have a question for you. If there's only one here, is it possible to attract another? Now, you're not going to like where I'm about to go, because it's going to reveal something that you've been avoiding for your whole life, which is why you've been also avoiding the ultimate intimate relationship without knowing it. If we don't attract other people into our life, then what's true? What if we're not attracting people? What if we're reflecting them? Now, even the wiser, spiritually conscious people that I've met over these last decades, it's one thing to have a moment. Oh, I get that. Oh, it's a whole nother thing to live it. What if I'm a cell in the body of the one? This body is a cell in the body of the one, because I am the one. And the one gives rise to this, and I am the one giving rise to this. And everything that ever shows up around me is a reflection of the one. We don't even need to ask that question, because just look and you will see the answer around you. How do we reflect? The people who show up around us reflect what is in us. So I'm going to do one more deep kind of a universal dive, and then I'm going to go just purely into the relationship thing here. All right. So bear with me for a second. I'm going to step away and switch my air conditioner on. It's just starting to get hot here. All right. What if the universe is the reflection? I'm going to go about another hour or leisure, because once I cover this universal thing, I'm going straight down into relationship technicalities. All right. And how to pull it off. What if the universe, what we have called the universe? Oh, I'm about to answer that, George. I'm about to answer that. What if the universe, starting with my body, is merely the projection of that light and the reflections of that light of the one? Now, I'm going to start with that. What if what I call a universe, what I have perceived as a physical universe, I got born into this thing, oh, fuck, look, it was already here. Now there's the religion and all these old, big, scary things, school and medicine, and they have all the power. What if that's an illusion? What if what I call and perceive to be a universe is actually the reflection and projection of the infinite, unlimited light of the one? Okay, got that? Now, what if what I call the universe is the reflection and the projection of that infinite one light through all the filters of everything I ever learned to be true as a meat suit and as a mindset and as a religiosity and as a being spiritual person on my way to waking up to the fact that all is one infinite, unlimited, perfect light. Everything's perfect and there's nothing left to heal, as I return to infinite, unlimited love, joy, and peace and bliss. So what if what I call the universe, starting with this body, is the reflection and the projection of everything I think and believe that I know, most of which is hidden from me in the unconscious, much of which is tangled up in emotions that I don't want to feel. And we just cracked 100 on the live stream. Yay. Welcome. Aloha, everybody. Those of you that missed the first part, you're probably going to want to go through the replay, but I'm going to give you kind of a summary catch up here in a minute. What if what I call the universe is the reflection and the projection of everything I think and believe that I know, showing up as this universe? But the vast, 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 vast majority of everything I think and believe that I know is hidden from me in the unconscious. I hid it there. Why? because so much of it is tangled up with emotions that I don't want to feel, that I have repressed and denied and buried in structures so that I won't feel them. All that pain of childhood. I'm just looking at the comments for a minute. Well, yes, in a way, because when you mentally accept, what if everything is actually the infinite, unlimited one, and everything is perfect? If I don't need to resist anything, I could relax into my infinite presence and safety, and from there, I can change anything. But when I'm in opposition to it and fearing it, I'm powerless to change it. Okay, so there's a clue about where we're going here. Hey, Ricky. All right. So let's do a recap now of all of that, and we can get down into the nuts and bolts of this relationship thing. First of all, let me ask you a question. If your paradigm of what you and the universe are, if it's completely false and in error, do you have any possibility of succeeding at a sane approach to relationship? Hey, Misha, great to see you. Do you hear my question though? Because see, this is to some people, it's just way too far out. It's way too far out. But wait a minute. If your fundamental presumption of what you and other people are is false, and you're blinded to it by your own programming, you have a 0% chance of ever having a real relationship. No, 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 no. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, so now, does it make any more sense why 90+% of spiritual respondents say that relationships are the biggest area of pain in their lives? It has the biggest potential for intimate, incredible, outrageous joy that transcends all the way back to oneness. But without that, we're screwed. People in levels 1 through 4 can't truly transcend into intimate relationship for what I trust now are obvious reasons. So, self-love is the only love. And without infinite self-love, there is no love. You can have no love. You can only have manipulation and control and fear that you disguise as love. All right, check it out. Listen, I've been at this an hour and 5 minutes. And so, well, Brian, you could have said that in 3 minutes. No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. The vast majority of spiritual teachers talking for hundreds or thousands of hours, and they ain't said what I just said yet. Here's the issue, though. You just got it right, Erica, because you've been with me for a little while, I think. Self-love with a capital S. So virtually everyone out there, hey, babe, good morning. Virtually everyone out there teaching self-love is teaching self-love with a small s, which means attempting to love the stupid, ugly, worthless piece of shit we see in the mirror, who we already know beyond the shadow of a doubt doesn't deserve it. Self-love is to love the self. And when I wake up and realize I am the self, I am the one, I can let the infinite love that I am heal all the illusions of darkness inside of me. But I got to stop blaming them. And so, myth number one in the realm of intimate relationships is that there's anyone else to have a relationship with. Myth number two, you attract people into your life, and you got to figure it out how to attract a better one. Dave, you just hit a major clue right there. Thank you. So check this out. As children, we learned that we did some things and were then good enough. We did some things and were then approved. We did some things and then they said, that's my good boy. And because we didn't see any love anywhere, we figured that was what love was. So we go into our relationships, pre-programmed robots, desperately trying to do that which will get him or her to say, that's my good boy. All right, check this out, y'all. Thank you, Misha. So, what can we do? What can we do? Uh-oh. Whenever I get a boom from Rosemary, I know I'm doing something right. That's like saying, good boy, Ryan. I got a star on my paper, right? So what can we do? Here's what we can do. What if I admit today that everyone that I ever meet, see, and encounter is a reflection of the one, and they're showing up to me to reflect to me what I am here to unlearn next. So this person shows up and they do this thing, and I say, narcissistic, bad asshole who did me wrong and hurt me and made me sad. Let me touch this real quick. It's a total side note. Charles, I am on multiple platforms at the same time. I'm in Facebook in multiple places. I'm on YouTube. So you're on one place where one set of people are seeing and commenting, and it's happening all over Facebook on different pages at the same time. All right. So what if someone showed up in your life and you said, hey, let's have a relationship? And you remembered every moment. Somehow you magically stayed conscious and you realized every moment from moment to moment, this person is only reflecting for me what I'm ready to see and unlearn now. So when they say, I love you, I'm going to be with you forever, and 3 weeks later, they fucked 3 of your best friends, stole your CDs and left, you said, wow, thank you, reflection of me. This sadness that the old me would have said, you caused this sadness in me. You made me hurt. You did this to me. What I actually know now is that you perfectly showed up and did what was perfectly necessary. Being that we're all one, there is no accident here. There are no random events. There are no narcissistic sociopaths. You showed up and did exactly, flawlessly, perfectly what was necessary to bring up these exact emotions in me that I have been denying. In other words, you didn't cause my feelings. You reflected out there seemingly the feelings that were already inside of me so I could feel them and heal them and release them, and it never needs to reflect for me again. Now, if you hear the point that I am making right now with some degree of enthusiasm, I'm going to take a couple deep breaths here. Hey, Samantha. Everybody type in. I'm going to go deeper into that because this is the answer. I want to hear every comment. What happened from everything you've heard so far, especially the last 3 minutes? Everybody just type in whatever you got. Hey, Stephanie. Okay. So here we go now. The roots of the roots of the roots of the roots of the roots. I could talk about 50 more relationship things. For today, touching this one. Because it's the one. I'm going to propose to you that every relationship issue you've ever experienced, that you have an idea about, that there's been books written about, each and every one of them are merely symptoms of this one thing. Now, that's a bold ass statement, isn't it? I'm walking through my life being spiritual, still stuck in religiosity with a whole bunch of my level 2 mindset habits, secretly still believing it's me against the universe with my caveman fully intact because I'm not breathing and I'm not present and I'm doing battle with this fucking universe as if it weren't me. And I'm carrying all these emotions from when my mom yelled at my dad and he screamed at her about money. And then I got beaten that time for something I didn't do. And I learned I can't love, I can't trust, I'm not safe, can't trust men, can't trust women. Everything's bad, everything's scary, life's unfair, and I'm a stupid, ugly, worthless piece of shit. And forgive me when I say the same is basically true for you. And I'm walking through life. And that happens, and I feel this. And I logically say, that made me feel this. And then she does this thing to me, and I say, she's a fucking 2-timing whore. She's a gold digging bitch. And I have all these diagnoses, narcissistic asshole. I have diagnosis for, and you know how people are, you know how human nature is. So I'm going through and I'm agreeing with everybody else who's agreeing with me because they're sleepwalking, carrying their emotions. And then I go on a fucking date expecting it to go well. Let me put my best foot forward and pretend to be what she seems like she would want so I can win her. And so I'm putting my best foot forward, and she's putting her best foot forward. And next thing you know, we're playing footsie, fake footsie. And I don't see it, but she's sneaking her claws around behind me. As soon as she sees that I'm relationship material, she's going to sink those fuckers in so I don't get away. And I pretend like I'm not doing the same. And then when she fucks my best friend, or she leaves after saying she loves me, or she says that thing, I say, she made me feel blank, which keeps me stuck forever. And it has to happen again and again and again and again. But if I choose presence, and if I admit we're two cells in the same body, she's not outside of me in the first place, and she can't make me feel anything bad. She can only reflect the feelings that were inside of me. In other words, she's a mirror, literally. She's a mirror of all the hurt inside of me. They're happening at the same time. One doesn't cause the other. And when I get that, I understand that the only answer always is to be present, to remember all is one, to live all is one. Now, I'm going to see what the responses are. I went up the comments a little bit here. So no one can reject me. No one can reject me. They can only show me the illusion of rejection to show me that I have rejected myself. Wow. Whoa. Holy cow. What? Okay, that was a lot of comments just came in during that. An interesting concept. I propose that it's infinitely more than an interesting concept, but that might be it for you. So you know what? I love this comment, and I'm actually going to use this comment to invite people to the program, because I'm over an hour in. So I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of information about the program that I'm getting ready to start. And I appreciate whoever it is that made this comment. And then I see your comment next, Marilyn, and that'll be fun for me to respond. I've been waiting for days to respond to you. 8.5 years ago. So I woke up from hell 10 years ago. A lifetime of suffering beyond what I can even express. Believing that I was fucked up beyond repair, living in this hellish existence. I woke up. I had a miraculous awakening that literally just basically almost changed everything in my life. And over the course of the next couple of years, those insights played out in my relationships. I left an 8.5-year disastrous marriage, and I went into about 10,000 years of relationship therapy that I wiped it out within just a couple of years. And one night, and I'm going to be ultra transparent with you, I went through what for me was an extremely painful breakup, but I know now there's no such thing as a painful, because nothing has pain in it, and it wasn't a breakup. It was someone mirroring for me perfectly what I was ready to see, and I was ready to see it all, so I didn't mess around. I did 10,000 years of relationship therapy. And I sat down with a woman friend of mine who I considered to be very wise, very loving, very present. She and I did a medicine journey together, sitting on the floor and looking in each other's eyes for a few hours, mostly silent. And I got up from that experience and I downloaded, and I'm going to say this, I don't really care if you think this is hype, if you oh yeah, that's your shit. That's your shit that you're reflecting. It's not mine. I'll just love you regardless. I downloaded the most powerful effective, magical, beyond magical relationship tool in human existence. And if there's anything more powerful, I will just throw this in the sand and pick that one up and start using it. I've never seen anything remotely like it. This tool is so simple that within a matter of a few minutes of using it, you're already dissolving the illusion inside of yourself, and you are literally beginning to reflect the perfect partner for yourself. If you're in a relationship, this tool will begin to cause your partner who you're already with to begin to reflect what you prefer without you telling them anything. If you're not in a relationship, this tool, it's okay, hon. If you're not in a relationship, this tool will begin to change your reflection, which causes what you prefer to begin to reflect in your world. There is nothing like it. I don't believe there's ever been anything like it. And that's a really weird thing to say in an infinite universe. This tool will change lives beyond anything you have ever seen. It's changing lives beyond anything I've ever seen. Now, this was almost 8 years ago. It was close to 8 years ago. I used the tool. I fine-tuned it over the course of a couple of months. And I watched. I am a completely different person, but I'm not. I'm actually me now. Up until then, I was stupid, ugly, worthless piece of shit with all my programming, and there was nothing I could seem to do about it. I was reflecting it so unconsciously, and so I kept bringing nightmare relationships in that looked better every time and then worse, if you know what I mean. Better, oh, this one's better, and then worse, and then better, and then worse, and it hurt to the point that I didn't ever want to date again. The pain of being alone was nothing compared to the pain of being in another broken relationship. I shared this tool with just a few friends over the years. And the changes that I saw in them was so incredible. I was like, man, this level 5 work that I'm doing is helping over 100,000 people today. I've never released this relationship tool, and I have been waiting for the moment. And I don't know how, and I don't know why exactly. Maybe in retrospect, I'll find out. But a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to my team about it, and we all got, it's time to release this thing. It's time to release it to the world. And so we made a decision. I'll talk more about what it does in a moment, and I'll get into the rest of these comments here. We made a decision to release it first and foremost to women who prefer opposite sex relationships. Okay, this is not excluding anyone. Hey, buddy. Good morning. Love you. This is not to exclude anybody. I will, over the course of these next few months, I'm going to be releasing versions of this program for everybody, regardless. If you are into 3 foot tall, one-legged green beings, you will be, not green beans, but green beings, will be all inclusive here. First, there were a few reasons. I don't need to go into them. It wouldn't serve anybody right now to go into those reasons. Just understand we had reasons to make it available to one sex who has a certain preference, to really streamline and fine tune this. So the people in this group basically are going to be able to communicate in the most transparent ways. The program right now, this first version, is open only to women. Now, I already know that we have a couple women who have a preference for same-sex relationships, and they're not going to lose anything by doing this. But this program is aimed for heterosexual women who want to go that way, right? And we decided that rather than just releasing the tool itself and offering that up as a program, that we would do something really, really, really incredible, really beyond the beyond. So what I am doing is I'm going to be doing a live session where I introduce this relationship tool. I'm going to give you some details about that in a minute. We release the tool and show everybody in the group. Oh, by the way, we put a cap of 222 people, maximum members in this program. And the doors close because we're starting the program next week. The doors close this coming Sunday. I'll give you a couple more details. So if this isn't interesting to you, I'll be done giving this part about the program in just a minute. I'm going to dive back into more relationship help, really getting down to the nuts and bolts here. 222 women. The doors close Sunday at midnight Pacific. And then I'm going to be sharing the tool and how to use it. And then I'm going to do 7 live spell-breaking sessions, mentoring over the course of 7 weeks, where we're going to come on, you're going to ask your questions. I'm going to fine-tune how to use this relationship tool and how to bring about what you want, dissolving those things in you that were reflecting as nightmares. And we're putting a guarantee on it that is, I would bet nothing like it's ever been done, that this is going to transform your relationships beyond your wildest dreams in 30 days or less. I will be getting testimonials 3 days in from people saying that it's the best thing they've ever done in their lives. All right. A lot of the women, for some reason, who have already joined the program are on this live stream. Hey, why wait until the program starts next week? Let's get some of this stuff now. And some of them have been making the most appreciative comments during this live stream. So they're already getting things out of this. All right. So no one needs it. Those who want it are going to go to the next level. Now, I'm going to use an example here. Marilyn, who I love and who loves me. And somehow, even though sometimes she totally hates me, she stays around. And Marilyn, I'm going to say that out of all the incredibly hard-headed, stubborn people that I've ever worked with in my life, you and I are possibly the top 2, you and me. Okay? How much I resisted this. Sometimes I think you have me beat. But you're asking a question here that you've asked me from different angles 40 or 50 times. I've watched when you got the answer and decided to go with it. And I'm not scolding or giving you a hard time. I'm reminding you, okay? Can you bring up the emotions and deal with them without the shit? You're calling your emotions shit. The stuff that happens is the reflection of the emotions, but you're fighting it, which prevents you from getting through the emotions to the other side. So I appreciate what you said here. This gives me a great example. If you're considering joining this program, but you're not ready to take 100% responsibility for bringing about the ultimate relationships in your life, you don't want to join this program, because it's going to be, you ain't blaming no man for anything in this program. That might turn a couple people off, but the rest that it turns on are going to be there. Beautiful. That's very close, Tammy, but no, you don't feel manipulated. You don't feel manipulated. Manipulated is not a feeling in any way, shape, or form. You do not feel manipulated. You are manipulating your partner constantly in ways that you're completely unaware of, blinded to it. No, I'm not, Brian. I understand totally. Don't take my word for anything. So they're manipulating you to mirror to you how you're manipulating them. And until you're willing to see it, you're not going to. I just realized it would probably be wise for me to do this. I'm going to bring this up now, and I'll have this showing for those who want. And then I'm going to go into, I'll go a little bit deeper. I'm going to respond to these comments, which in a way is going deeper. And then I want to do some Q&A. All right. Yes. 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 All good. You'll see the replay if you want to. And I would dare say that anyone going through this replay is going to get 10 times more out of it than they got the first time. No, Deborah, Your reflection isn't that you're a violent, abusive, narcissistic piece of shit. What you're reflecting is the fact that you believe that there can be such a thing as a violent, abusive, narcissistic piece of shit. You know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you have done violent things, abusive things, narcissistic things, and you know that you deserve it. And so this person is reflecting that. And this is where a lot of people say, fuck you, Brian, I'm out of here. That's too much for me. And those people, I'll see you probably in 6 months to a year after it plays out a couple more times and you're ready to hear it. And I hear you, Diana, and it doesn't have to be hard work at all. What's actually hard work is fighting it, because the structures that we build into ourselves, remember what I said, what if the universe that I'm experiencing is the reflection and the projection of everything that I think and believe that I know, the vast majority of which is hidden from me, by me, in the unconscious, much of which is tangled up in emotions that I don't want to feel. And I spend the rest of my life building brilliant, complex structures behind my back to prevent myself from feeling those feelings, which means that my true self has to show up as more and more clever, convincing reflections until I finally stop fighting it. The hard work is fighting it. That might be the best news of this. I can relate. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. And it's always perfect. It's always perfect. That's the greatest news. The universe is my true self, loving me infinitely, unconditionally, perfectly every second of every minute of every day. Now, yes, Frank, and here's the catch. Even as you begin to reflect on the things you want and reflect the things you want, necessarily the feelings you've been avoiding must come up. So the situations will arise to give you a chance to feel them. If you stay present to feel the feelings instead of blaming the person or projecting outwards, then you're on the way. To an extent, Dale, but before you can thank them for the pain, you have to reach the point where it's authentic in you. Wow, my brother, you have flawlessly shown up as an angel in my life to flawlessly reflect the beliefs and the decisions and the pains inside of me. I am going to feel these feelings, and thank you for your gift. I'm going to feel these feelings and I'm going to get through them. And when I'm on the other side of them, I will be able to fully see you for what you are. What a coincidence, right, Samantha? Yeah, it's not hard work. Who wants to play fake footsie, right? Where the hell did that come from anyway? Oh, Marilyn. Go back and watch one of the orientation sessions and breathe, honey. You'll be back. You've done this a couple hundred times. You're still on your way. Don't worry about it. Mega myth. You make me feel this. And then we go about our lives trying to make people feel this and telling ourselves they make us feel this, which blinds us and prevents us from ever getting it. All right. Now, so many comments. Let me see if I can touch these because I want to give you some details. Jeez. Aha moments galore. So let me ask this. Everybody. A lot of times on Facebook or YouTube, someone will see a video and they go, oh my God, 2 hours. I have no way I can watch that. I'm going to ask and recommend that you will do this. Help me out if you will, and help me help some people. Tag some people in the comments or share this in Messenger. Or maybe if you don't know anybody that won't be helped by this. You could actually save the link to this and email some friends. I would massively appreciate monumentally appreciate. If you're getting value out of this, if you'll click the thumbs and the hearts and the smileys, if you will comment on this video, if someone types in a comment that you really relate to, if you comment on their comment, and then if you share this, Facebook will see that there are enough people commenting on this that they will actually begin to put it out to a wider audience of people who would be interested. So if you would help me out with that, I will be immensely appreciative. And I'll tell you what, I'm coming up on an hour and 40 minutes, and I'm going to go deeper into the relation. I'm going to help you more, if that's okay. Those of you that want to stay, I want to help you a bit more. And then I want to do the Q&A. All right. So let's take about a 3-minute break here, and everybody take a pee, fill up your water, tag some people. When we come back on, I'm going to do a catch-up summary and then go deeper. All right. All righty. So let's get back to it here. I'm going to do a quick recap of everything, and then I'm going to get through these comments and go deeper in. Still got quite a few people on here, about 70 people on, which is pretty groovy. All right. What if the universe, all of it, is the reflection and the projection of everything I think and believe that I know, the vast majority of which is hidden from me by me in the unconscious, much of which is tangled up with emotions that I don't want to feel. And in order for me to heal and return back into my infinite being, I got to heal all those emotions and unmake all those conclusions that are buried in my unconscious. And what if intimate relationship is the single most efficient and effective tool for doing so, because it's the fastest way to bring every one of those emotions up in its most intense, simple form. So perhaps for the majority of us, intimate relationship is the answer. But we can't get that working while we're believing what we're believing. And virtually all of the relationship information that's ever been available to us was from levels 2, 3, and 4. And the stuff that's in level 4 is all disguised as if it was level 5, and the people teaching it don't understand the difference. I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm kind of asking some questions here. So then the ultimate truth of intimate relationship is that I am learning to love myself disguised as the other. And the other is going, Marilyn, to perfectly, flawlessly at all times reflect what's in me. And my anger and pissed off and rejection and resentment and calling them narcissists and wanting to have them arrested and thrown to the bottom of the ocean perpetuates my pain. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. I would say that falling in love, you're falling and you're going to hit bottom. But you could rise into love. Why do they say falling in love? Because we're fucking blind and we fall right over into the damn ditch of pain. This is the answer to everything, not just relationships. Relationships are a means to everything else. Well, maybe it's easier said than done. Maybe not. Maybe when you want it enough, it's effortless. Dee Dee, I'll make you a promise. If your partner isn't listening to you, it's because you're not listening to you. Guarantee. And you know what? Sometimes the greatest thing we can possibly do is admit we're not ready to be in an intimate relationship. I was addicted to relationships. I had to be. And wow. Now I'm not gonna let this turn into one of my 5-hour live streams, but I'm gonna say this. My dad beat me a lot as a kid and was very threatening and menacing and terrifying to me. My mom, here I was, a little baby. I was just coming up. I didn't know shit about shit. This guy's mean and terrifying, and he beats me and pinches me and hurts me. This one is kind of softer and nicer. She kind of, when she's trying to love me, I can feel she's pulling love from me. And I feel safer when she's around because he either doesn't beat me when she's around sometimes, or he doesn't beat me as often, or he doesn't beat me as intensely. He kind of stops. She somehow seems to have some effect of him not beating me as much and not being as cruel and vicious to me. So I got attached to my mom. My mom had low self-esteem and didn't love herself, so she couldn't give me love. So I got attached to needy, codependent love. Can I get a fucking amen from somebody out there? Into infinite bliss. Thank you for that, whoever that is. I'm not able to see you because of the StreamYard app, which has glitches sometimes. You see now, if you look back at this, I'm almost positive you joined the program, Connie. I'm almost positive you did. So imagine looking back 3 days from now, a week from now, 30 days from now, and literally seeing every affair, every woman reflecting some of what you believe about yourself. Your ex showing you everything you believe about your unworthiness, your inability to be loved, and how you can't count on a man, all reflecting those childhood things that I was just talking about. And it was perfect the whole time. You're right, Pierre. You're right. Everyone who has joined, I want to thank you. I high five you. I give you a giant hug. Starting next week, me and 222 women who are ready to step into bliss, unconditional love, freedom, and bliss. I'm going to go through some shit along the way. This tool makes it infinitely easier. Infinitely easier. You too, Samantha. You too, Elizabeth. Mapacho, Mapacho is what is in here. It's a rather magical little instrument too, I will say. Reasons for all those pieces on there. But if you look up Mapacho, you will discover much. I'm curious about this. Jane, what exactly you are referring to? Oh, God. It is an amazing guarantee. And the only way that I can make a guarantee, oh, look at this, right on time. I'm open-minded but skeptical. If you're willing, Jane, if you want to be free, if you want to have the most intimate, loving relationship so much that you're willing to be responsible and accept responsibility to see things in yourself that you've resisted up until now, it'll work for you. And I'm putting the most, like, who could guarantee that your relationships will transform beyond your dreams in 30 days? I mean, really, Brian, you're really, yes, we are. Hey, John. Didn't know you were on. There you are. Love you, buddy. Now, Misha, I'm gonna pull up my laser scalpel here. You're not gonna attract anything. You're not gonna attract anything. You're not gonna attract anything. You will not attract anything. You were never attracted to anything. You can't attract anything. Let that shit go. You're reflecting right now. What you see in the relationships around you is the flawless, perfect reflection of everything you think and believe that you know, the vast majority of which is hidden from you by you, and much of it is tangled up in emotions that you don't want to feel. You're reflecting. You ain't attracting. Don't do that to yourself. Yeehaw. All right, Christy made it clickable. I'm not able to make it clickable on the screen there. So, well, I won't go there. Thank you, Rosemary. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you, Rosemary. Yes. If you try to reflect what you want, won't you push it away? We're not going to try to reflect what we want. Connie, we're flawlessly, perfectly reflecting everything right now. If you look at the universe, well, if you really want to take responsibility, if you're really ready to take responsibility, I dare you, I challenge you. I'm not just talking to Connie. I dare you to consider this and really consider it. Are you ready? What if the universe is the ever perfect, spontaneously right on time, perfect reflection of everything I think and believe that I know? the vast majority of which is hidden from me by me, much of which is tangled up in emotions I don't want to feel. So what I'm seeing is an emotion of relationship disasters, feelings I don't want to feel, and I don't understand. I can't figure it out because I hid that shit in my unconscious. So we're not going to try to reflect what we want. We're going to begin to be what we prefer to be, which instantaneously, automatically reflects what we prefer. We're undoing all the difficulties, all the complexities. Yeah. Stephanie, I'm going to say something kind of close to that. Close enough, and we can perhaps fine tune it. And oh my, we'll do what? Look at these comments. Oh my God. Boom. Bam. Carrie signed up. Welcome. Yay. Carrie, we are going to have so much fun. You're welcome. Ryan, not exactly. So listen to this. If someone lives with chronic sadness, that means that the sadness is frozen inside of them. When you release the sadness, there's sadness available in the universe, but you're not attached to it anymore. When you're carrying chronic anger and you're denying it and repressing it, you're going to see anger everywhere. You're going to always have opportunities to blow up at your kids and scream at your partner and not know why you did it. When you get it out of your attachments, it'll always be available, but it doesn't affect you anymore. Now, there you go. Chrissy just said it. I don't have to. Thank you, Samantha, for sharing. I hugely appreciate it. And those of you, thank you, Pierre, those of you who are taking the moment to share, if you would take a minute to tell people what it is and why you're sharing it so that they come to it with some understanding of what they're getting in their hands here, okay? If I work on those things I don't like in my partner within myself and how I react or respond, which is unfavorable to him, if I work on those things, does it mean he will magically start to behave better? Okay. That's a hell of a complicated wording, Heidi, but I actually understand what you're saying. I'm going to give you an answer by rephrasing it. If I begin to handle within myself that which was reflecting as all those nightmares in my relationships, that asshole partner, if I handle those things inside of myself that are reflecting in my partner has two choices, conscious or unconscious. I never have to say a word to them. They're either going to evolve up and begin to reflect it, or they're going to resist it and start to fall away. You cannot but reflect what you are reflecting. So when you're willing to admit, you mean everything that I'm getting out there is what I'm reflecting? That's what's going on inside of me? That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you. That is a perfect example. I would agree with that largely, yes. Oh, no, Ryan, here's the thing, buddy. It will change magically. It can't not. It can't not change. You don't have to take my word for it. I'm just telling you. Good night, Misha. Check that out, everybody. Just take a moment. I really appreciate you sharing that, Misha. Thank you. Oh, Marilyn. Slow down and breathe, honey. Slow down and breathe. Those of you who might think that I'm being harsh with Marilyn. Listen to me. I'm not. You don't know the dance that she and I have had and the hell that she has come from. She's right now having a temporary forgetting of how far she's actually come. So she's fighting and resisting. And it's okay. She loves me and I love her. So listen to this. Marilyn, when you get what you perceive to be a crappy, horrible nightmare to date, and you breathe and become presence, you recognize that this horrible, crappy nightmare is reflecting what you believe is in you as crappy, horrible nightmares. And as you don't fight and don't resist and don't blame and call them a crappy, horrible nightmare, which you're doing right now, locking yourself in hell forever, when you don't blame them and you breathe and you become curious, you begin to reflect presence and kindness and love outside of you, because there is no outside of you. Diggity damn, I got some amens. Oh my God. Some of you are really listening. I dig it. Okay. Well, fortunately, it won't be in one room. It's going to be me and 222 women that are all over the planet in Zoom rooms. And I will have an extra jar of testosterone to spray at every few minutes while these sessions are going on. Tara's in. Connie's in. Oh, yay, Merritt. Yeah, I saw that you joined too. So Estonia is about to get lit up with some conscious femininity over there. Tara, this first iteration, this first release of the program is 100% only for women. Yes, absolutely. That's not the worst idea I've ever heard. We're just going to have to get a hell of a lot more than the first 222 people through. Margaret, I'm going to take this as a compliment, because for me, I have done 0 sales of any kind on this live stream. I love sales. And if I weren't doing level 5, if I didn't have this weird ass gift that I have, trust me, I would be doing sales right now. And I believe that if you have the cookie and you show the cookie to people who prefer that kind of cookie, they will buy. So, oh dear God, Deborah, I'd love to hear. How did what you heard on that LOA broadcast, how did that compare to what I'm talking about here? I'm very curious. I've been waiting for someone to do that. It's just perfectly sized. We'll just put it that way. God. That's my friend. Yep, that's it. Mapacho. Mapacho. Beautiful. So we got some friends. See, this is the thing. Now, this is the thing. Let me since I just got told I was doing great sales, let me do some great sales here for a minute. You ready? Check this out. If I were a woman and I were joining this program, the very first thing that I would do, I would reach out to my mom and my daughters and my closest women friends and show it to them. How's that for a sales technique? I would literally want to go through this program with other women that I know so we could have accountability groups and conversations in between sessions. Absolutely. If you actually handle those emotions and programs, your reflection cannot but change. You got that right, Tara. See you, Esther. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing. All right, Lynn, I appreciate you sharing that, but I ain't got no E in my last name, so that'll send people to that other Brian Ridgway's Perfect Man program. We don't reflect a better outcome. There is no better. Better is the trap of being a spiritual fuck. Better is a lie that came up through religiosity right up into spirituality, and it has no reality. There's no good and there's no right and there's no wrong and there's no bad and no better and no worse. Those are all complete delusional concepts with no reality whatsoever that almost everybody's totally addicted to, and it's part of why we're suffering. Beautiful. Okay, digitally, I will take 1 minute to answer this. There's a deeper answer. Here's the essence of it. In order to offer this is not about separation, and we will be offering it to everyone, to communicate the challenge and the benefits, and to pre-market and let people know what's coming. The more accurately that we can define what the challenges and the symptoms are, the easier it is for the ideal people to find it and respond. We had a multi-hour conversation about this, my team and I, and it's not excluding anyone. We will absolutely, positively, beyond the shadow of a doubt, be offering this program to everybody. This first iteration is for a very specific niche, and they will be touching and reflecting everyone at them. Okay, and Tama, sorry about that. I just answered this other person asking, you don't reflect a better outcome. But you know what? Because two people have asked it now, I see there's a lot more questions. Let me respond to this. All right. The purpose for this program that I'm doing, the purpose for it, and releasing this tool that I can say I created it, but the fact is it just came through me, this perfect, amazing tool. So elegant and powerful. What happens is you don't try to reflect a better outcome. What happens is you're going to sit down with this tool. I'm going to walk you through every step of it in total intricate detail, although it's very simple. You're going to envision the attributes of masculinity that you most value and appreciate. You're going to become aware of them. You're going to feel them in the most profound ways. So hear what I'm saying. For women, you're going to become conscious and aware of and make explicit the attributes and aspects of masculinity that you most value and most want to experience. You're going to feel them in the most profound ways. And this is going to activate and illuminate the perfect feminine aspects within yourself, which you are going to feel. And you're literally becoming that which you already were by contemplating and appreciating the masculine aspects that you most want to experience. This thing it's the ultimate mirror, and I call it the perfect partner process, because you're always reflecting the perfect partner for you exactly the way you are now. Let me say that again. It's almost a summary of every word I've said up until now. You are literally always perfectly, flawlessly reflecting the partner that is absolutely flawlessly perfect for you right now to bring up the feelings that you've been avoiding. We're going to bring up the concepts, the aspects, and the attributes of the masculinity, which will trigger an entirely new set of feelings that you've never felt, that you have craved to feel, that you have yearned to feel. Most of them you couldn't even have put into words. You're going to become aware and conscious. You're going to make these aspects and attributes of the highest masculine. You're going to make them clear and explicit to yourself. Then you're going to feel the feelings this elicits in you, which is already enough. But that actually activates the second part of this tool, which is to feel and see the aspects and attributes of the highest of femininity and feel them. And the reflection seemingly outside of you automatically changes. And then, in addition to the session where I'm going to walk everyone through this tool, let me be selfish for a minute here. I want to get this piece of the story out. 8 years ago, when I developed this tool, and then I fine-tuned it and I perfected it and I stepped out of relationship hell, I thought for the next 8 years, like, when am I going to release this thing? I want to release it. And I can't tell you why. Soon I will see in retrospect why I waited until now. I don't know why I was guided to wait until now. However, now that it's coming out, I had this conversation with my team, and we decided that instead of just giving the tool and the training, We were actually going to do 7 weeks of live sessions with the women who are using the tool so that we can develop Q&A and actually help every different personality type and every different mix of masculine and feminine how to use this tool in the most optimal way. So when we release the program after the fact, there will be weeks of material fully developed. And we are doing this program. You know what? I'm actually not going to give the price. I'm going to let you go look at the page. You'll see it in 5 seconds if you go to the page that I keep showing. Okay. I've been through tens of thousands of dollars of relationship programs in my life, and none of them scratch the surface of this. And this program is a tiny fraction of that. And it's partially, and me just being transparent here, if everybody wasn't going through this COVID stupidity, we would not be offering this program with all the additional stuff. We wouldn't be offering it for the small amount. There's going to be a members area. There is a private Facebook group. So there's going to be communication and contemplation and collaboration. This program is just going to be miraculous for everybody involved who shows up ready. Okay. Beautiful, Kimberly. Really? Oh, that's right, Margaret. Oh my God. So I think I saw a notification somewhere. That's right. You were one of the first, probably 2 or 3. I think Christy might have been first. Christy heard about it. She's like, okay, I'm done. We will, Christy. So all you women are going to be ready, and then I'll do the program for men. And you guys will probably have first pick, I guess. That's how we'll do it. Feel the feelings. Breathe from it. Yes. That is about as close as we're going to get. Yes. You know something, V? I gotta tell you something. This is crazy. When you messaged me within the last couple of days about this relationship, I saw this coming. Passion is a necessary, however much passion you want, passion is a necessary aspect. You are a living being of light, which means light and fire are very synonymous. You're a living, passionate being on fire. And in order to have the ultimate relationship, there's going to be passion. And the areas, I don't know if you want me to say this, but I'm going to say it. V, in the areas where you're compensating and settling, as long as you do that, almost everybody does, because almost everybody who's in a relationship right now has a secret thought. Is it okay if I say it, everybody? I'm just going to say it. Okay, fuck it. I'm going to say it. Almost everybody who's in a relationship is secretly thinking, this might be the best I'm going to get. I better hold on to this shit. I mean, yeah, that sucks, and this is not what it could have been, but this is probably the best I'm going to have, so I better hold on to it. Those that are ready, we can put an end to that. I appreciate it, Lynn. Absolutely, Deborah. Absolutely, yes. You can just email support. We'll be there communicating. We're going to be communicating every week once the program starts. Thank you for that question, whoever this is. Now, I'm not being a smartass, but I'm going to answer this with a question. How could it be possible that if all of my relationships are actually mirrors of light with the one that is showing up in infinite forms, then if I change my approach to love, if I begin to reflect unconditional, authentic love, and if the blame disappears, why is it that automatically my relationships with my kids changes completely? I want to model something here real quick. Everybody, you know what? we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. I want to go a little bit deeper, and this Q&A is already happening here. I want to model something very quickly for you, and I'm going to invite my daughter in. Suki. Suki. Will you come here for 1 minute, please? I'm still doing this live. Come here, babe. This will just be for 1 minute. So I want everybody to meet my girl Suki.
Hello.
She's 13, and so I'm doing this. I told you I was doing a relationship program for women, right? And I just want to model something for them. Suki and I do this every once in a while anyway, and I'm going to let you just feel for yourself. So Suki, let's just look at each other for a minute, okay? You brushed your teeth, right, this morning?
No.
You haven't? Okay.
I smell like salami.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you for that, babe. I appreciate it. And you do smell like salami. All right, now I'm way up in the comments, and any comments that happen down below, it'll be a few minutes before I get to them. I just want to say, I don't know many fathers with teenage daughters who can have right now the experience that I just had. Do you? For her to feel that willing and non-resistant and that open and transparent at her age. Because if she didn't feel comfortable for a second, it would have been the most obvious thing in the world to anybody. Understood. Dejoli, we will talk more about this. And it's not separate. It's not separate. This is, listen, when people sell tampons, they market it to women up until now. Okay? It's not a matter of separation. Women have a different set of considerations of what they want out of a relationship than men. You won't manifest it, and you won't create it, and you won't attract it. You're going to reflect it, because you're reflecting everything that you're getting right now. Hey, Tim. Aloha, bro. I'll see you on the beach soon, man. Beautiful. So everyone, if you will, one more time, listen. If you're getting value out of this, if anyone has the perception, oh, he came on and did a live stream so he could sell us and make money. If you have that feeling, don't you dare share this, because you wouldn't be doing it from your heart. But if you feel like this is valuable and beneficial and it'll help other people, and if you sense value coming from me that's going to serve people, the more you click the hearts and the thumbs and the likes, and the more you comment, and the more you comment on comments that make sense to you and share this, you will be helping me help a lot more people. And you know what? I don't give a damn if you share this with 100,000 people and none of them buy my program. I couldn't care less. It's totally fine. Okay. People that this is for are going to join the program. It's no big deal. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Don't let it be hard. Let yourself become curious. And I'm going to offer you a tip here, Pierre. Is there any possibility that in your childhood you took on some extra masculine tendencies in order to compensate and cope with things that were happening in your home, which means that you would be attracting men with more femininity because you're reflecting it. Is that a possibility? That just gives you a possible hint of what I'm talking about and what's going to happen in the program. Not at all. Mm-hmm. 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 Thank you, Ryan. You know, Tara, I said in all the materials for this entire program, we have said this is for women who want to have an intimate relationship with a man. So that would be straight, hetero, whatever. And I've talked to a couple women already who have said, yeah, well, I like pussy too. And so I'm not gonna reject anyone out of the program, okay, because of that. There's no good or bad, there's no right or wrong way to do a relationship. Let me say the most controversial thing that I am going to say on here. Let me just give anybody that wants it a chance to get offended. You ready? I don't think I've been nearly as controversial and offensive. In my observation, a significant, to understate, a significant portion of people who are choosing non-straight, who are choosing, binary, schminary, I don't give a shit about any of that crap. The vast majority of people, or rather a very significant, to put it mildly, percentage of people who have decided to go into homosexual, same-sex relationships, whatever you want to call it, are actually doing so unknowingly as a result of trauma with the other sex parent as a child. It's very significant. And anyone that wants to resist that or fight that or think that I'm an asshole, I love you so much. I don't give a shit what you think. I don't give a shit what I think. Okay. I'm just offering it. So I didn't say all, and there's exceptions to every rule, basically. All right. That's my point. That's my point, Piera. That's my point. That's it. Okay. So one last time, what if the universe is the reflection and the projection of everything that I think and believe that I know? It's infinite, unlimited light, the one infinite, unlimited, eternal being, which is only love and joy and peace, twisted into these twisty mirrors, reflecting all of my twists and folds and bends and all the things that I'm hiding from myself and all the emotions that I'm repressing. And no one can make me feel anything. And everybody shows up to reflect what I'm avoiding, because my only way out is in, and everything out there is reflecting what's in. And if I want to change that, intimate relationships are one of the most straight, direct paths, straight to the heart of the matter, to the fiery roots, which is why all that passion and burning and stuff is there. And what if you're looking right now at the straightest, clearest, most direct path to changing those reflections? I lived in relationship hell for 46 years. Ain't nobody ever been more brokenhearted and devastated and lonely and needy and clingy and desperate and jealous and fanatical and fucking insane. Nobody more than me ever. It's mutual, buddy. All right, I'm getting scolded now by my business partner because this video is getting long enough that people ain't going to watch it. What we might do is cut it into pieces. That's probably going to be the most beneficial thing. I'm making an invitation into a program. A lot of people have already said they gotten value out of this. Let me be totally self-serving here. I am going to go a little bit longer. Let me be 100% self-serving here. I'm going to ask in absolute raw honesty. Okay. Please don't say anything to make me feel good. And don't worry, you can't make me feel bad. I'm past all that shit. I couldn't care less. I want to hear genuinely and sincerely. We got 77 people on 2 hours and 21 minutes in. If you would type in your honest assessment, how much value, benefit you've gotten out of this live stream. What do you think about this live stream? What do you feel about this live stream? How do you compare what I've shared with you here compared to any and all relationship advice or programs you might have bought? The more explicit you'll be, the more you're just going to really make me feel good about myself. No, I really want to hear it. And I have a couple selfish motives for asking this question. All right. Either nobody's responding or I'm having a lag on the comments. I'm going to wait one more minute. Oops. I'm going to grab a drink. Just one sec. Taking all of my vitamins and spirulinas and stuff, and I'm running out of water here. So let me see. Love and appreciate you, bro. Thank you, Frank. I hear you, Colin. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. I've been seeing you around for the last couple of days. I'm glad you're tuning in. Thank you. Thank you, Janine. Yeah. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. That is a firm choice you are making there, Marilyn. Until you breathe and allow yourself to return to presence, that's how it's going to be. I offer you this, Ryan. You won't create it. You'll reflect it. Let that truth in and it's going to start happening immediately. You've been diving deep, haven't you, Frank? I saw you shared one of my 10-year-old videos the other day. Wow. Wow. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do. Rena, I love you so much. And I'm going to recommend and invite that if you feel it in your heart, go back and watch the replay of this as soon as it's available. You've shared some things with me that I know beyond the shadow of a doubt this will be immensely valuable for you. Self-help hell, baby. Like I go through the houses. I think I dig what you're saying. Okay, I'm glad I asked. All right. Okay. So imagine, let me do this again and maybe we can multiply. Thank you, Christy. Maybe we can multiply the value and the benefit with these last few minutes here. Imagine okay, that's my other daughter, y'all. I have 2 daughters in this world. You saw me looking in Suki's eyes a moment ago. And now for me to have my grown daughter diving into this work, let me ask you this. if I was bullshitting anybody, if I was bullshitting anybody, would my teenage daughter do that? And would my grown daughter be on every damn live stream that I do the whole time, soaking it up like this? I am blessed and I am grateful. All right. Appreciate the feedback. Now, check this out. As a child, I'm going to speak to the women. Those of you that are men or whatever else you want to identify as, you enjoy it and you reflect this in your own way. So I'm talking to women for the moment. As a girl, as a baby, as a child, you learn things about being a girl and being a woman, being a mom. You watched mommy and you saw what that meant. You looked at relationship and you saw what that was. You watched commercials and you saw what that was. And you watched TV shows about marriage and you learned what mom was, what dad was, what parents were, what rules were, what abuse was. You learned what sex was, but none of these things did you learn any fucking truth about whatsoever. You just bought what they were putting out. And you've been carrying it around ever since. And some of it hurts so incredibly badly that you repressed it into the unconscious along with the emotions that you don't want to feel. And so you have these conclusions and understanding about what men are and relationships are, what masculinity is, what femininity is, and how you should be, and what you got to do in order to finally get enough approval that someone will finally love you. And oh, dear God. And none of it works. None of it works. Can we be honest that none of it fucking works? None of it works. Well, it works perfectly to reflect what we're getting. And then we become spiritual fucks. We say, okay, so if I'm stepping out of religiosity into spirituality, I'm supposed to believe that all is one. But why is she such a bitch and why is he such a narcissistic jerk? That ain't oneness, babe. That ain't oneness. So I say, I don't know how to change all this shit. I don't know what I mean, and I got all this pain, I got all this stuff. And if I'm in a carnival of mirrors and I can't tell what's true anyway, how in the hell am I going to ever get a handle on this? And most of us feel we never will. Could we be honest about that? Most of us feel we'll never. I mean, maybe it's for others, but it's not for me. Here's an example. There's a perfect example. Okay. So what I'm proposing to you is that what if you were to wake up and find yourself in a conscious group of people where you were admitting all is one and you were stepping into all is one, and you are absolutely correct. Bingo. But instead of any of the other battle and confusion, instead, what you found yourself in, I'm going to roll with these. That's what I'm reflecting. What Crystal just put on this screen, what my daughter just put on this screen, that's what I'm reflecting. You need any more evidence? Ten years ago, I was in absolute, utter relationship hell. I cried about my relationship with my kids every fucking day, but not as much as I cried probably about the desperation I had to finally get mommy's love through some woman. And that's what I'm reflecting today. So, what about getting together in a group of people and learning how to call in the highest, purest aspects and attributes of the masculine? Feeling it and having it turn on things inside of you that have literally never been turned on before. Oh, yeah. and having that activate in you the reflected mirroring of the highest, purest attributes and aspects of the feminine, and feeling it, and literally looking up and seeing that what you're reflecting is already changing. Can it be that simple? Can it be that simple? Can it be that simple? Beautiful. Deborah, you and I are going to have fun dancing in this program. You are going to have an amazing time. So I am at 2 hours and 31 minutes. And it is a fact. It is a fact that putting a video up that's this long, even people that want it, even if the title is irresistible, they look at it sometimes and they go, oh, that's too long. I'm not going to be able to watch that. I kind of must, out of my desire and intention for other people to watch this, I must bring this to a close. And otherwise, I'd go for probably 2 or 3 more hours, to be honest with you. And I might do another live stream about this. This is, I can see by the hunger and the passion, the enthusiasm and the sincerity here. Yeah, this is worth it. So you're welcome, Carrie. Thank you for that. Thank you for your gratitude. That's, I'm doing this from the heart. Those of you who want to help me back, you don't have to. Help the people you know. And obviously this video is not just for women. Please share this video far and wide. Give people a moment of, listen, you got to see this. And I am recommending, my dear friend, that you block out 2.5 hours, put something on the door that says, leave me the hell alone, because I'm going in deep. Maybe watch this with your teenage or grown daughter. Maybe watch this with your mom. Maybe watch it with your sisters. Those of you who are in semi-conscious groups, law of attraction groups, anything like that, if you really want to help people, you will be helping me. So I hope you're okay with that. Reach out in groups and say, listen, you want to see the next level beyond the law of attraction applied to relationships? You want to seriously go all the way? You got to see this video. The program closes Sunday night. I'm making this on, what the hell is it? I think today's Friday. Friday, it's 11, 12, 1. So it's about 1 in the afternoon on Friday. In a little bit over 48 hours, so 50 something hours, this program closes, whether we've reached the whole 222 or not. I think we're actually getting pretty close now. There's been people joining every day. And over these next couple of days, we're going into Thanksgiving weekend. There's a whole lot of people. They got plenty of time and opportunity to watch this video and know whether they want to join us or not. And they'll get a lot of value anyway. The first class is next Tuesday. And if I am not mistaken, I do believe, we have it in writing, but I do believe, Chrissy, you can confirm this if it's easy for you. I think we set it for next Tuesday at, which I think is the 2nd, Chrissy, keep me straight here, at 10, I think around noon. I apologize. I spent 10 hours putting the orientation session together over the last 2 days. My electricity went out for a few seconds and the whole thing got lost. So our first class, that first session, will be the orientation session. And that is coming up, I think, next Tuesday. So let me just see. Christy might have already typed that in. She's so on top of this stuff. December 1st. Yeah. And Deborah, when you sign up, you're going to get added to a private Facebook group for conversation and Q&A. I have a poll in there already for you to ask your toughest questions. And then the course will be starting. I'm really serious about this. Now, I see a lot of people have clicked the hearts and the thumbs, and I'm really grateful for that. Those of you that want to help, share. Maybe watch this with friends and let them know they're looking at 2.5 hours of potentially life-changing magic. The very last thing, 2 things that I want to say today is, I would appreciate hearing back from you. You can come back to this video and comment later today, tomorrow, the next day, whether you join us or not in the program. You can come back to this video and let me know what has changed for you, because there's going to be people that watch this live once or twice for free and have life-changing experiences from these insights. No question. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Yes. We're never going to have the relationship with them that we don't have with me. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing I want to say is this: you are perfect. The hydrogen, the helium, the lead, the plutonium, the magnesium, calcium, these elements and the atoms that are made out of light, nothing but light, infinite, unlimited light. There's nothing good or bad or right or wrong in any of them. There's nothing deserving or undeserving in any of them. And if you are made of them, which you are, that body that you identify with is made up of light. That ain't good or bad or right or wrong. Then there can't be anything right or wrong about you, which means you're actually perfect. And whoever made up that nobody's perfect that they shared with us throughout our childhood a million times until we bought it, they were full of shit. Perfectly reflecting what we had learned and believed. It isn't true. You are perfect. I know. It's tough to swallow when you've known your whole life you're not. You'll find out eventually, and I can help you speed it up if you want. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for being on with me. One way or another, I'll see you anyway soon. And you better believe it. All circumstances are relationships. I will see you soon. Thank you.